Two of the Democrats' biggest betas are beefing. We just got leaked audio from a DNC meeting where Chair Ken Martin can be heard whining about Vice Chair David Hogg stealing his thunder.
The other night I said to myself for the first time, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. No one knows who the hell I am, right? I'm trying to get my sea legs underneath of me and actually develop any amount of credibility so I can go out there and raise the money and do the job I need to put ourselves in a position to win. And again, I don't think you intended this, but you essentially destroyed any chance I have to show the leadership that I need to.
Girls, girls, girls. And CNN scoring a rare behind-the-scenes look at the DNC's group therapy session afterwards.
We are now seeing on our screen right now what appears to be a dumpster fire.
So, Harold, we were talking about this before. I think it was even yesterday. We have no idea what the Democrat new leader could look like. We might not even know who he is. Because men don't make history. History makes men, Harold. We need that person to face this time as it is. Who could that be, Harold? Who is that person, Harold? This is a party without a Harold.
It's a party. The DNC, regrettably, over the last, I'd say, many years, and there have been friends of mine who've been leaders there, has not really been a serious political organization. And by that, I mean an organization that you look to for leadership, either fundraising leadership, message leadership, candidate identification, or promotion leadership. And it's got to get back to the basics. This young fella, David Hogg, who has a remarkable history as a young man, but he has every right to want to say the things he does, but you shouldn't be in a party leadership doing that. The guy, Ken Martin, I feel bad for him. I don't know him. I frankly was a little surprised that he was elected to be the leader of the party. And I think I can understand where he's coming from. And Democrats in Congress and the Senate, Mr. Schumer and Mr. Jeffries, they got to go over to the DNC and control the place. And this kind of nonsense, it doesn't bode well for anybody. We don't have a message. We seem to be too tied up with trying to protect people who are perpetrating crimes. We don't seem to want to protect the border. And we have a party leadership that's fighting with each other because one guy who's the number two guy wants to run people against people in the party who happen to be old. So that's the message that's being presented and projected. You're not going to be taken seriously if you don't clean house altogether, or better yet, get the Hogg guy out and let Martin take it, or get Martin out and let Hogg take it. Whatever the case, this isn't working.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So, Jesse, let's say Harold isn't running.
I don't know if I'm saying his name right, David.
But he is running. We know that Harold's running. There's only one other person, and we mentioned him in the A block, and I am completely dumbfounded. I mean, how did I miss this? It's Fetterman. Fetterman is the closest you get to kind of like the element of surprise. He's untethered to the fallacies of wokeness. He's got almost a Trumpian thing going in that you don't take him seriously until you take him seriously.
I'm not taking him seriously as a president, Greg. I think Stephen A. Smith is more of a potent wild card than Fetterman, although I do like Fetterman. What they have to do is figure out what they stand for. Trump embraces timeless principles.
Yeah.
Sovereignty, merit, wealth, family, innovation.
McDonald's.
Right. I mean, these are core values. And then he has the policies that are wedded to the principles. And then a vision. They don't have a vision. Even MAGA is a vision. It's an impulse to make America great again. They don't have that. So they just need to maybe take some ayahuasca, go to the woods, and just figure out who they are.
That is actually the best advice you could give. The Democrat Party has to do ayahuasca. I've never done it. But Martha, Jesse is right. It's like the party, there are people in the party that are still refusing to kind of share the risk. They're beholden to the same dogma, the woke dogma that infects it. How can they actually come up with a principle or a plan if they're terrified of each other?
Ken Martin was right about one thing when he said no one knows who I am, because Harold didn't know who he was. So
until he got the job.
I would disagree with one thing that you said initially, Greg, and I do think that the man does make history, because the Republican Party went through a very similar phase after Romney and Ryan, and they did did this whole, like look at, I forget what it was
The
called.
autopsy.
The autopsy,
Yeah.
thank you, that's what I was looking for. And they spent, millions of dollars at that point to try to figure out, like, who are we? What do we stand for? What's our message? And it didn't matter because what happened was Donald Trump. And he understood, he saw a void, and he knew how to fill the void.
You just proved my point.
It takes a person.
It was the void brought the
Absolutely.
man. How dare you disagree with me?
No, I think the man understood the void, but we can go back and forth. But I think it is the man. Look at Bill Clinton. Look at Barack Obama. It's not about these guys sitting around in some room figuring out, oh, I've got it. I know what our message is now. It's not. It's very right in front of your face. It's a person that has to be, wow.
Yeah, and do you see that person? Could he be at this table,
Well, can I
Kaylee?
permission to dump on you a little further?
Oh, please dump on me.
Look, you said he the whole time.
Yes.
Okay, 2 out of the last 3 cycles, and I'm no raging feminist, trust me. I'm probably an anti-feminist. But 2 out of the 3 last cycles, it's been a woman. It's
Emphasis
more
on
likely to be cycles. Oh gosh, man, now my head's in a weird place. Pocahontas. It could be Pocahontas.
Yes.
It could be AOC. It could be Kamala Harris.
No.
It could be any of these people
I
that
love
lead
those
the
ideas.
party. I like that. So let's go for cycles, guys. I'll just leave it at that.
I'd tell you something to look
More
at.
cycles
Michigan's governor's race next year. You got an
Oh, Whitmer's.
independent, but you got an independent running for governor who's a Democrat, who's the mayor of Detroit now. I'm interested to watch that battleground state there.
Who is that?
Whitmer.
Mike Dugan.
Dugenhauser? Dugenhauser? All right. Up next, Obama's doctor makes a candid confession about Biden's doctor.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.